what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Do, 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 do. Hello, my mum.
Lots of girls break off engagements, Beryl. You mustn't take it to heart, love.
It's only eyeshadow I'm putting on, Mother, not a brave face.
I mean, you mustn't blame yourself, Beryl.
I'm not.
It's only people in films who leap out of bed in the morning and start singing, pretending to be happy.
I am happy. All right, left to do. Mrs. Battersby, you've got a devastating daughter.
There can't be many 19-year-olds who wake up singing they've dug 16 tons, and what have they got?
Another day older and deeper in dot. Well, I always do. Wake up singing.
You mean you always have done for the last 3 days, Beryl? That doesn't qualify as a habit of a lifetime.
Still got 5 minutes. Excuse me, Mumsy.
And look what you've done to your breakfast again.
Yeah, eating it.
Eating's a sign of worry.
You've hardly touched yours.
I'm worried about you. I can't read the collected works of W. Shakespeare and the Home Doctor in 5 minutes, Beryl.
Books aren't just for reading, Mother.
Oh, really?
Books for improving busts.
Nothing wrong with your bust.
This time tomorrow, I won't be a 19-year-old girl.
I haven't forgotten.
I'll be 20.
I realise 20 is the beginning of middle age, Beryl, but your muscles aren't going to slacken overnight.
I bet some girls' mums buy their daughters flesh-coloured bras with size B half cups which push everything they've got up to the front for their 20th birthdays.
I think you do just as well with a boob token.
Oh, I might be latish tonight. Mavis Butler's having her stag do.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, divorce came through yesterday.
Whatever else you do, Beryl, you mustn't turn bitter. There's more to marriage than getting a divorce.
More to engagements than breaking them off.
Well, you've done nothing to reproach yourself for, love. Not in the eyes of the world.
I know.
And the eyes of the neighbours can think what they want to think.
It's their only pleasure.
Mothers do understand, Beryl. That's why daughters have mothers. To understand. Whatever it is, I'll understand.
There's more to engagements than breaking them off.
I don't understand, Beryl. Last week you were in love, you were engaged to be married.
Last week, Mother, I was engaged. Just. After months and months of willy, won't he, this year, next year, sometime, never.
Men don't like making decisions.
Men? I've been going steady with a dandelion.
Coming out tonight, then?
No. Why do you want to know?
Call making conversation.
No, Tuesdays used to be Beryl's night.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Last week.
Yeah. No, it's really funny how the really great affairs end. You just smile a last fond smile and melt away into the night.
You didn't smile, Geoffrey. You couldn't get quite enough leverage on your bottom lip.
Inwardly? What colour are Spider-Man's tights?
Is it important?
Nothing's important, Roland. Just things have varying degrees of unimportance.
And where'd you read that little mind-bender?
I made it up.
You didn't.
I did.
Blue.
Thank you.
How long is this mood of yours going to last, Geoffrey? And please don't say you're not in the mood, Geoffrey.
I'm not
in the mood, Roland. Right then. Manic depression.
Look, if you'd ever been engaged, you'd
Thank the Lord I have not, sir.
You'd appreciate that ending one is like returning to go and waiting to throw a double six.
You are chuffed it's over, aren't you?
Yes, but does that fill the aching void, Roland?
I mean, you did spend all last week trying to pluck up sufficient cowardice to tell her, didn't you?
Roland? Roland, do I look all right? I mean, I don't look funny or anything, do I? I know I'm not knockout, but you think I'm passable, like?
Ducky.
If you were a bird, would you fancy me? A bit.
You're all right, Geoffrey. I'm nothing fantastic, mind, but all right.
Just all right. Wouldn't you say better than average all right?
Are you sure you're not sorry you broke off that engagement?
I didn't break it off. Beryl did.
Ah, that's it.
I feel like a reject.
Look, have a rethink about tonight. Let's go out somewhere, do something, you know, groove, man.
All right.
Your enthusiasm's infectious.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere. I mean, we're easy, aren't we?
Beryl used to like her nights mapped out on graph paper. That's the difference with blokes, isn't it? You can go out with a fella on spec and have a real ball.
Could I...
Same again?
Well, we've not lost the old magic touch, have we? It's still ring-a-ding-ding time when you and me at town.
Who said all the spare talent congregates at the cenotaph?
Well?
Well, a null on a bike and two 7-foot birds carrying billiard cues is not my idea of a congregation.
You're too choosy, Geoffrey. Sorry to bother you, Blossom. What's the password?
What did you want? And I've heard more replies to that than you've had your nappies changed.
Half a keg.
Half a shandy, please.
Neat.
Pardon?
Well, he can't break training now, you know. I mean, this time next month he'll be halfway up the south face of the Annapurna in the Andes.
Himalayas.
Hey, I got you right in there, Geoffrey.
I don't think that's strictly true, Robert.
Oh, it's a doddle, a bit of chat and you'll crack it.
Look, there's a fairly strong possibility that this time next month I will not be halfway up the south face of the Annapurna. Anyway, the only mountain I've ever conquered is in Wales, Snowdon, up the mountain railway. And he is popped all the way down. And besides, I don't fancy her. She's too...
Yeah! You know, the Sherpas worship him. Krishna Lama, young lord who lives at the roof of the world.
It's beyond me where anybody wants to climb mountains.
Well, I suppose it's because they're there, love. Yeah. Let's have something with us. Go on.
Thank you. I'll put it towards a box of matches.
Oh, dear.
What?
Nothing. I just keep thinking I see Beryl's face everywhere I go.
Geoffrey, that's not just Beryl's face, that's all the rest of her.
Beryl?
Well, what to expect?
Is she looking?
Geoffrey, there is nothing more obvious than you trying not to be.
Is she looking?
I'm doomed, Geoffrey. I just gaze right into her eyes. In 60 seconds, I shall turn to solid stone. Geoffrey, it's not that funny. Even on half a glass of shandy, it's still not that funny, Geoffrey. Oh, dear. Why are you laughing?
Why not? A lot of doctors recommend it.
A lot of doctors commit you for it, Geoffrey. All right, then. A joke. Here. How'd you train a cat to obey you? You chuck it on the fire and then tell it to get off. Chuck it on the fire and... I'll see you in a minute.
Where are you going?
Brush me teeth.
Yeah. Packet of crisps, please.
Salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, beef and onion, steak and kidney, chicken, baked beans.
Plain.
Plain.
Please. Will you take for a large gin and tonic or something, please?
Gin's fine. My favourite fruit. Ta very much. Are you really a mountaineer?
Oh, no, Roland gets carried away sometimes. Or he ought to be.
Well, bung-ho.
Cheers.
You're a modest lot, aren't you, you mountaineers?
Oh, yes.
Must take a lot of courage. You know, I went up Snowdon once on the mountain railway, and all the way down my ears kept going pop, pop, pop.
Hey, it's funny you should say that. I heard of a fella who did exactly the same thing.
It just shows.
Yes, it does indeed. Cheers.
Right, my old son, I'll see you tomorrow then.
You're not going, are you?
Well, you don't want me to give you a hand with a block and tackle or something, do you?
Pardon? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll see you in the morning then, late-ish.
Oh, golly gumdrops, doesn't time fly when you're at a fantastic rave? Great stag do, Mavis. Bye!
Same again, please.
Yes, thank you for asking, Super.
That's good.
I even saw Geoffrey P. Scrimgeour, or whatever his name is.
Oh, did he have anything to say? Of interest, as it were?
Well, obviously, Mother, I didn't speak to him. We just happened to be having a drink in the same place as he just happened to be laughing his stupid, hairy head off.
Oh. Was he out with a friend?
He came in with that Roland. Honestly, talk about a plunging neckline.
Roland wasn't wearing a dress, was
The barmaid. Well, she was nearly wearing a dress.
he? Where, Beryl, in the overall scheme of this tangled web, does a Well, it's certainly late enough. Burglars keep better eyes than Geoffrey. 061 246 3782. Mrs. Battersby speaking personally. Hello, Geoffrey. Forgive me for asking, Geoffrey, but which particular Geoffrey are you? Oh, yes, of course. Beryl's first fiancé. Oh, well, I'm very sorry, Geoffrey, but I'm afraid Beryl says she's not in. Or rather, I am telling a teeny fib, Geoffrey. Beryl is in, but she's lost her voice. Would you speak to Geoffrey ex-Bobbles Bonbon if you hadn't lost your voice, Beryl? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
No!
And no. Things weren't meant to be clear at midnight, Geoffrey. That's why God invented beds. Yes, well, you go and sleep on it and things will look different in the morning. Well, it applies to anything in life, love. A personal problem, a pair of pants. I thank you for calling. I've no idea what I'm talking about. I'm not even warm.
Traditionally, Mother, nod nod means yes. And shake shake means no in the negative sense of the word.
I said no and you said yes.
Yes meaning no.
It's retribution for something I've done or ought not to have done. I walked past a lady selling flags yesterday.
Would you prefer a periscope for Christmas or two-way curtains?
If they're not too dear, no thank you. Another card?
Yeah, girls at the office. Full of mischief, full of play. Our little Beryl's 20 today. Well, don't all laugh at once, Mother. It is supposed to be a joke.
Oh.
What time does the afternoon post come?
It never varies, love. There isn't one.
What are you looking at?
I'm not looking at a what, Beryl. I'm looking at a who.
Whom?
A whom called Geoffrey.
Well, don't stand there, Mother. He might just possibly jump to the pathetic conclusion that we're slightly interested. What's he doing?
He's sort of pacing up and down. I didn't think boys did things like that these days.
They don't.
Geoffrey does.
That proves it.
We've got to have it out.
Well, one of us had better answer it, Beryl, before 2 coats of pale mustard gloss paint drop off.
I'm counting up to 20.
20 what?
20 as in play it cool. 13...
14, 15.
14, 15, 6... Oh, God.
Was there someone at the door, love? Hello, Geoffrey. What an expected surprise. Do sit down, Geoffrey. There's no need to stand on ceremony.
Oh, thank you.
Now that there'll never be one.
Pardon?
Welcome.
I was passing the house when I suddenly thought to myself, I wonder how Mrs. Battersby's keeping.
Very well, thank you. Very well, thank you, Geoffrey. All things considered and under the circumstances.
Oh, well, that's the main thing, isn't it, Mrs. Battersby? I'm pleased to hear your mother's well, Beryl.
Beryl's keeping very well, too,
I'm
under
very
the
well.
circumstances.
Are you reading a book, Mrs. Battersby?
No, she's knitting rice puddings.
Beryl, is there something I ought to be attending to in the kitchen, or will it wait for a little while?
Oh, don't you have to,
Oh,
yes.
Oh, thank goodness you jogged my,
Memory.
That's it, love, thank you. Excuse me, Geoffrey. Woman's work, you know.
It's never done.
Well, somebody gets it done, Geoffrey. It doesn't do itself.
I like and respect your mother, Beryl.
She's in the kitchen and she can't hear your old world smarm in there.
Do you want me to go, Beryl? Beryl? Well, you've only got to say if my mere being here makes you angry.
I thought you came to see my mother.
I did. Your mother's been like a mother to you.
Well, then you better wait till Mummy gets back in and then say goodbye, hadn't you?
Right. I shaved half an inch off my sideboards on Monday. Like it?
They were all right before.
I've grown back again half an inch.
Geoffrey, they're your sideboards. And your sideboards are your concern, not mine.
They used to be your concern, Beryl. In the old days. I used to value your sense of correct sideboard lengths.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy yourself the other night? Well, I saw you with some friends in the, what's it called? Queen's Head.
Were you there?
Well, you saw me, didn't you?
No. Nor that barmaid. And I use the expression loosely because everything else about her was.
I only asked her for a bag of crisps, Beryl. She wouldn't leave me alone. Used to happen a lot for her, met you. Birds taking a fancy to me. A little bit.
Well, you must have encouraged them, Geoffrey, because it takes two. It takes two to tango.
I was always faithful to you, Beryl.
You make it sound like you were supporting a charity.
I used to fancy you a lot more than a little bit. A little bit more than a lot, even.
Since last Saturday, I've had 9 phone calls from different men.
9?
And 7 requests for dates from men at the office.
How many?
7.
There's only 4 blokes working in your office.
Yeah, 3 of them asked twice.
And that Graham, what's his name's married.
Ah, he only asked once.
She didn't really fancy me, that barmaid. She didn't really fancy me, Beryl. I just kept buying her drinks.
Why?
To make you jealous.
Jealous? Honestly, Geoffrey, she must have been 25 if she was a day.
Girls always fancy me after they've got to know me.
Problem is getting one before they've got to know me.
You are quite passably attractive, Geoffrey.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Oh, no, I'm not, Beryl. You don't have to be nice.
I am not being nice, Geoffrey. You are very attractive.
Am I?
Yes.
Sort of very, very attractive.
Very, very attractive.
Thank you.
Right.
Beryl, I didn't really come round to see how your mother was tonight. I wanted to ask you, Beryl, did you break off the engagement because you found out you didn't love me?
No, Geoffrey. I broke it off because I love you too much.
Oh. It's not a very common reason, is it, Beryl?
I just didn't want to see you unhappy, getting enmeshed into something from which you couldn't escape.
Beryl, I do want to be engaged to you.
Engaged to be married, Geoffrey? Next year?
Why not?
On the last Saturday in April, say.
Pardon?
Oh. You see, now you won't feel all pinned down, don't you?
No, I was just thinking. No, that'll be all right. There's not very many decisive league games at the end of April.
Oh, Geoffrey Bubbles Bonbon.
Beryl.
Oh, Geoffrey, Geoffrey. Oh. N-O.
Spells no. What's wrong?
Nothing. Geoffrey, did you take her home last night? Your barmaid?
No. As a matter of fact, I phoned you, but you wouldn't speak to me.
Roland was positive you'd taken her home.
Roland?
Yes, he left just before me. He brought me home.
He didn't mention it this morning.
A man's best friend, Geoffrey, isn't always his best friend.
What do you mean, Beryl?
Nothing. I've probably said far too much already, and you must be thinking all sorts of dreadful things about me just because Roland finds me attractive.
Roland? Is it somebody's birthday? Your mum's?
No!